MotorWeek 88, television's automotive magazine, with your host, John Davis.
Hello and welcome again to MotorWeek 88. We're glad to have you with us. Mazda's 323 is a car that's well known to Americans as a sturdy, reliable, but not particularly exciting little car. In Europe, it's a different story. There, the 323 has a reputation more akin to Volkswagen's GTI, thanks to a formidable record in European pro rally competition. Well, now there's a new American performance version called the 323 GTX. With turbo power and four-wheel drive, it's the fastest rising star in the hot hatchback competition. Naturally, a car that can win European rallies deserves more than a quick squirt around the test track. So we took the GTX up north for a romp in its own element. That element usually ranges from the gravel stages of European rallies to blasting up Pikes Peak during the world's most famous hill climb. Hardly what you'd expect from a car with the econobox reputation of the Mazda 323, but the GTX version is unique. Mazda describes it as a street-legal rally car. The exterior reflects this. Prominent side skirts and plentiful decals loudly declare that this is a hot hatchback. That theme continues with a large rear wing and alloy wheels wearing high-performance Bridgestone rubber. This makes the GTX a real standout, even among hot hatchbacks. But there's more to a hot car than a racy exterior. There's a racy interior. The GTX gets high-contrast black and gray on white upholstery that some people will call striking. But for all their engineering prowess, Japanese car makers have a hard time making an interior that's universally pleasing to the eye. On the other hand, the monotone dash layout is standard 323, which means clean lines and a minimum of gadgets. Unless, of course, you choose the optional digital gauge package. This sparse, confusing unit makes a Cadillac dash look good. The standard analog gauges are much easier to read. Once you're past looking and climb into the sports seats, you'll find they are quite comfortable. Back support is plentiful, and there's lots of bolstering to hold you in for spirited driving. Adjustments are basic but efficient and combined with the standard tilt wheel for an excellent driving position. Climate controls are easy to reach, and operation is almost idiot-proof. The radio might gain similar praise, but like in many Mazda products, it's set low in the dash, looking almost like an afterthought. This makes it hard to operate while driving, and the optional cassette player is surprisingly basic. Interior packaging also looks good from the rear seat. There's a lot more room than one expects in such a small car. Entry and exit are easy, and a split folding seat back is standard. We also have praise for the rear hatch, which opens to plenty of useful cargo space despite a high liftover. So we've now established that this is a fairly practical hot hatchback. But you're probably asking, where's the hot? Right here. It's a 1.6-liter fuel-injected four-cylinder with all the high-performance goodies. These include dual overhead cams, 16 valves, and a turbocharger. Altogether, they produce 132 horsepower and 136 pound-feet of torque. Power flows through a 5-speed manual transmission and into an Audi-style full-time four-wheel drive system with a center differential lock for extreme conditions. Extreme conditions are what we decided the little rally Mazda deserved, so we headed north for the Michaud State Forest of Pennsylvania. There we found the loose gravel and snow common to European rallies. We also found that our little Mazda truly deserved its rally car reputation. The GTX displayed rough surface traction that one normally expects in a full-blown 4x4 truck, but in a sporty little package that a truck person would consider absolutely prissy. That is, until he tried to lose it on a rough trail. Only a lack of ground clearance and real off-road tires keeps the GTX from being a true go-anywhere car. Life is full of compromises, however, and the GTX's on-road performance reflects this. Front-end plow is substantial and increases quickly as you push the car into a turn. The same car that felt light and nimble on forest roads now feels leaden. Something was lost in the translation between German Quattro and Japanese GTX. The Audi's superb road feel and lateral grip are noticeably absent. But that has to be expected when you compare prices. The GTX bases out at $12,999. Our loaded test car came to $15,269. That's nearly $15,000 less than an Audi 90 Quattro. Acceleration fares better with 0 to 60 times of 8.5 seconds. The quarter mile ends in 16.5 seconds at 83 miles per hour. Tall gear ratios, however, waste much of the engine's power. Braking, on the other hand, is absolutely superb. Stops from 55 averaged only 103 feet. Fade and lockup are non-existent. This car stops like it's on rails. EPA mileage estimates for the Mazda 323 GTX are 21 city, 24 highway. Our mileage test turned in an excellent 26 miles per gallon. Interior sound measured a quiet 68 decibels. As for the competition, Toyota's FX16 costs less and outperforms the GTX on dry roads, but it can't keep up with the Mazda under adverse conditions. The quintessential hot hatchback, the Volkswagen GTI, on the other hand, costs more and also outperforms the GTX on a normal road. But the all-wheel drive VW GTI is not yet available here. In our safety check, the GTX passes with rear shoulder belts, 5-mile-per-hour bumpers, and radial tires. Front passive restraints and anti-lock brakes are missing. Though you'd never know it from the superb braking performance that leads off our list of hits. That's followed by superior rough road traction, sharp styling, comfortable seats, and substantial luggage space. Misses include indifferent dry road handling, confusing digital gauges, and a hard-to-reach stereo. The Mazda 323 GTX is an interesting automobile, but billing it as a rally car may be a bit of an exaggeration. Rally cars are more akin to full-blown race cars with extra rough road ability, while the GTX is a highly livable compromise between a race car and a hot hatchback. And it is a unique little car that deserves its own special niche in the hot hatchback market.